Hey everyone, and welcome back to Spirituality with Gabriella. Today's Pick a Card video is about when you will meet the one, and this video is sponsored by Keen. So if you haven't heard of Keen yet, I highly recommend checking them out. Keen is a platform that has tarot readers and psychics and astrologers. They're all super talented, and there are advisors available 24/7. I recently got a reading with Bear Sage. He is my go-to person on Keen, and I was asking him about how to expand my business so that I am growing more in a coaching capacity and doing more coaching offerings and services. And he gave me some good strategic advice, which I've already been implementing. And I'm so happy because that for me is my purpose and how that lights me up. So I'm really excited to share this offer with you today. You can get your first 10 minutes on Keen for only $1.99. And that is actually up to $99 in savings. So highly recommend checking them out. I am posting the link right on the screen here. So this is my promo link. Make sure that you use this in order to get the offer. And I really recommend that you do it. And I hope that you enjoy your reading. Make sure that you comment down below and let me know how your experience was. And I know that you will love it just as much as I do. So without further ado, I'm going to get into the 3 piles that we're working with today. And a quick disclaimer, as you can see, I got a tablecloth. This was a birthday present, so I know it's a little hard to see the cards, but once they're flipped over, that won't be the case. So over here, we have pile 1 with the rose quartz. Here we have pile 2 with the apatite. And here we have pile 3 with the emerald. So take all of the time that you need to tune in and choose the pile that speaks most to you. And we are going to get some channeled messages from your guides about when you will meet the one. So stick with me. You can get the timestamps down below in the description box, and I will see you there. Thank you so much. All right, pile 1, welcome to your reading. So if you chose the rose quartz, this reading is for you. So we are going to be finding out when you're going to meet the one. And before I get started and before I look at the cards, I do want you to know, honestly, that timing in tarot is one of the most difficult things. So I really encourage you to take only what resonates today. And of course, if it resonates, perfect. That's even better. And I'm going to give you as much advice and guidance as I can based on what your spirit guides are sharing with me. So your first card is the 6 of Cups. And let's continue to see what other cards your spirit guides want you to see today. Okay, the 5 of Pentacles. The 2 of Wands. Death. I'm going to ask a little about the future, the Star. Okay. The 8 of Swords. Okay. The 2 of Pentacles. Okay, so let's start here, and I'm just going to share whatever is coming through for you. Okay, so what your spirit guides are telling me is that you actually already have met the one, but I'm feeling like the situation is not ideal in this moment, because especially with the 6 of Cups, I'm getting that this person is very dear to your heart. This person is someone who you pretty much always had an instant connection with. And I'm, for some reason, seeing someone with dark eyes. So this would be double confirmation if this person had like brown eyes, like very intuitive eyes is what your spirit guides are saying. And when you look into their eyes, you would really see their soul. That's exactly how you would feel. But I'm getting that this person maybe wasn't ready for a real relationship, or at least not a lifelong relationship at the time that you two came together. And I'm seeing that some of you might have even dated for a while and that things might have been really good, but also very intense. And then here we have the 5 of Pentacles. And to me, this is not so much about what's happening right now. It's actually more about how the situation didn't really pan out exactly as you expected, but you still have hope. And your spirit guides are showing me rays of sunshine. And so basically what they're saying is, yeah, you already know this person and you're watching this reading because you're hanging on to the ray of sunshine that this person might still be the one, but in some ways you're still struggling to see, are they really the one? And you're not 100% sure, not because of how you feel, because actually how you feel is that they are the one, but more because of the situation. Like if you were to put it on paper in black and white, it doesn't necessarily look the best. Now, I'm getting that this person really loves you and they really care about you. And that is a deep and true love. And I do want you to know that. And I want you to have that confirmation. What I'm hearing though is they do struggle with what I would describe as like mental health issues, actually. And it's not extremely intense, but it's intense enough where it can be very destabilizing for them to pursue a lifelong relationship at this point in time. And they feel like they have other things to figure out. So they really love you. They love you a lot and they want you to know that. And their higher self wants to say that very clearly, but they also don't want to rush it. And to them, it would be worse to pursue this relationship with you immediately or in a rush and then have it crumble and fall down. And I'm even getting the sense that this might have been what happened in the past for some of you. Like you might have dated and had a beautiful connection and everything was great and you were so in love with them, but they just weren't emotionally ready for everything. And therefore the relationship might have ended or might have crumbled. And so that would be the Five of Pentacles showing up. For others of you, if it didn't really get that far, I'm also seeing the Five of Pentacles might be how you're feeling right now. Like you might be feeling really caught out in the cold and left alone, and you might not be certain about the future of the connection. But I see everyone watching this reading having hope, like really sincere hope that this is indeed your person. And I do feel that it is. And I am going to share some advice later on how you can kind of accelerate this process in a healthy way where divine timing is also at play. So we have the Two of Wands here, and I do want to answer the question about when you will meet the one. See, the answer is you already have met them, but I'm trying to understand at what point a reunion or something like that would be possible with this person. Okay, so I'm hearing that some of you might be talking within 2 months. And it feels to me like this person had to take a step away in order to reflect and in order to understand what they truly want in life. And they have known this whole time that they want you. I want you to know that. That's pretty clear for them, but they just haven't felt like perfectly aligned. And I'm even seeing these gorillas and they're in this bubble. And it's almost like they had to go into this protective bubble in order to really reflect, and they almost had to remove themselves from the rest of the world. So I'm seeing a reunion, if that is the case for you, happening within 2 months. And I do want you to know this person has worked through some very dark emotions. I'm hearing like a lot of darkness and a lot of torment, and this person has had a lot of personal trauma, and hence the Death card. They have had a personal death of their own, and this has not been a comfortable process for them. I see that it has been very heavy on their heart. I also see that it's caused them some really intense dreams, even like nightmares, so they might suffer from like night torments and things like that. And your spirit guides are not saying that to freak you out or anything, but they're just wanting you to know all of those moments where you might have thought, oh, does this person not like me? They're just sharing this information to say, no, that's not the case. The case is actually, this is an internal struggle that this person is dealing with. A lot of this is karmic and past life stuff. And it really is not about whether they like you or not. In fact, they love you, but they're not feeling 100% ready to pursue this relationship because they don't want to mess things up further. That's kind of what I get. However, in 2 months, I feel many of them will be ready. For some of you watching this, I do want to say, honestly, I see it extending all the way up to 7 months. So they might need more time to heal, especially if they are dealing with something that is like a diagnosed mental health case. I think that that makes sense. They'll need more time. They'll need to be more balanced, but they're working through it. And I do want you to know that the waters, I'm being shown the waters of their mind, and I'm seeing like something swimming, and it looks kind of murky at the beginning, but it's getting a lot clearer for them and things are progressively getting better. And this space that is happening right now is actually exactly what they needed. And they want you to know that if you're not in communication or not talking, it's not because they don't love you. It's just because they're trying to become the best person possible for you. And so it's really up to you whether you kind of wait this out or whatever. That's completely your decision. But they do want you to know that they're working on being a better person for you, and that it has caused them to go deep into their wounds. And they're actually showing me like a closet, which is dark, and they're opening the door to this closet and they're looking deeply within and they're trying to sort everything out. And your spirit guides are showing me all of these clothes that were messy. They're now being folded. And so they're trying to take everything out, look at it, shake off the dust, and kind of like fold it and put it back nicely. And so something that your spirit guides are saying is your person is almost trying to like upgrade their DNA. And it's a funny way to describe it, but it's like their energetic DNA, where in the past, they just didn't have the emotional resilience or capacity to deal with very hard, challenging things. Like it broke them and it shook them and it kind of made them fall to the ground. But now what they're doing is they're working from the inside out instead of the outside in. And so one message that's coming through really clearly for you all is try to not focus on the outcome in this situation as much. Because, for example, if you're sitting there thinking, well, at what point are we going to get engaged, or at what point are we going to get married? Then the situation is going to seem warped because you'll start telling yourself stories that they don't like you. But really, if you just focus on the steadiness of the relationship and that person's healing and also you healing alongside them, that's when I see this relationship coming into equilibrium. And your spirit guides are showing scales, and they're saying, like, if you take that perspective, things are actually going to move a lot faster, as opposed to if you're thinking of it as, oh, it has to happen within this window of time. Now, that said, I totally understand everyone is curious about timeline because it is an important thing, and you don't want to feel like you're waiting around if you don't have any sense of direction or assurance. But I want you to know the timeline for this is very good. So you've already met the person, which is already one of the hardest things in life, is to meet somebody that you love so deeply like this. And I'm seeing an engagement, or I see a significant event. It could also be marriage happening within the next 2 years. So just to summarize, if you're not currently talking, I see a reunion within 2 months. It could go all the way up to 7 months if they are dealing with something very, very difficult. Also, especially if they have dealt with someone passing away close to them, that would extend the timeline a little bit because I see their head being kind of clouded and dark, understandably so. If you are in communication, if things are flowing, if things feel good and you're just feeling a little bit like uncertain, or you're kind of curious, when is this going to happen? I do see an engagement happening, within the 2-year time frame. And yeah, your spirit guides are saying for some, this is actually also a marriage. So you have the star, and I want you to know that all of this is destined, whether we like it or not. This rainbow coming into David Bowie's head here on the back left side is actually very significant. The left is the intuition. And I feel you have known and have always known that this is the person for you. It's just that your logical mind might have fought it from time to time. I'm also seeing like this big third eye symbol here. So between this part of the intuition and the third eye, this is a sign that you just have to trust your intuition. Do not trust other people who are like, oh, this person isn't serious about you, or this person is off doing God knows what. You already know this person is right for you, and this person would feel like family and home, and you would have the deepest soul connection with this person. So what I'm getting is basically you might feel a little stuck because we have the 8 of Swords. So it would be perfectly normal if you feel like you don't know what to do next in the situation. But what I'm seeing is healing is the name of the game. And that's why we also have this butterfly here, because your person wants to truly be the right partner for you, not just a partner. They want to be the right partner. They want to show up. And so I'm seeing that what's necessary is to make sure that you have healthy boundaries and the emotional capacity to sit with them when they need that. So it's kind of like these two gorillas are together, right? And this gorilla will sit with this gorilla when he or she is going through something really difficult. But at the same time, this gorilla also knows when it needs to take a step back and just let this one sit in a bubble by itself. And so wherever you are in the situation right now, my biggest advice is write down a list of your boundaries and write down what is your threshold emotionally. Like at what time is it healthy for you to be supportive and sit with this person in their pain? And at what point is it actually too much, to the point where it's damaging you and where this person needs to figure it out for themselves? And I know that's a really big question, but it could be as simple as I decide to listen deeply to this person because obviously I love them so much, but I'm not going to take on their wounding and their pain, and I'm not going to let myself, spiral from that or go into a dark state. So, just try and set your boundaries as best as possible, because what I'm seeing is if you do that, your energy is more protected and sacred, and therefore the relationship will be more protected and sacred. But if you're always there for this person, in the sense that if you're actually taking on their emotions, then I actually see it damaging the relationship, and I see it becoming a bit of a rabbit hole. So that's just like an honest message to really try and get clear on what are you here for, and then where do they need to actually figure it out for themselves. And how can you provide resources and support and professional help for them to do that? That's also a really important point. So we don't want to be their therapist, obviously. We're their partner, their lover. And, at one point in time, it might be really necessary for them to have that other type of support, which is actually professional support. So that's just some guidance and advice that I'm hearing. I feel that this situation is actually okay for you though, although at times it might cause you some mental strain, just because the timeline is a little bit weird. But I see that the two of you come out of it on top, as long as you set those boundaries and as long as you get really clear on who it is that you're aiming to be and the relationship that you really want to have in your life. So we have the Two of Pentacles, and again, this is like a balancing act. And to me, this is actually a very positive card. So I think it's just balancing your boundaries, your time, how much time you really want to invest in this relationship. I am seeing some of you manifesting this person, especially if you've been separated or if you've had a breakup before. I'm seeing you manifesting them back, and I see that being successful. I just think that it's necessary to know that this person might be going through a hard time, and that not to expect everything to happen instantly. Not saying that you do, but it would just be important to make sure that you have really healthy boundaries. I also want you to know that the universe is honestly your oyster. Like, you have all of these stars and roses in these cards, and these are symbols of love and also divine harmony and being able to channel. So I feel that you are an extremely intuitive person, and when I'm tapping into your energy, I see this being difficult for you because I see people around you might not really understand what you're saying when it comes to this relationship. And this person that you love is a beautiful person, but is in some ways also kind of like a tormented soul. That's honestly just what I'm getting. And so it might be really hard to describe that to like the average friend. And for the average friend, they might just say, oh, why are you wasting your time? Well, that's not what I'm seeing. I'm seeing this person truly loves you. They love you from the bottom of their heart. And the universe, as in anything that you want, is available for you in this relationship. So my advice would be really visualize this person healing from the inside out. And in doing so, you're also healing yourself. And then visualize the two of you coming together, and just every single day, imagine golden light around you and this person. And you can imagine golden light around your aura separately, and then a huge bubble of golden light around you two together. And I feel that even just energetically sending them this positive vibrational energy, it's really going to help to uplift their spirits. There's another video that I would recommend you watching. It's called How to Cut Soul Ties and Karma. At least I think that's the title. It's on my channel, and I would really recommend you watching that, because for this pile, I'm feeling that you and this person have some pretty intense karma, and you also have very intense love together. So I would definitely recommend watching that and trying to do that process. And if you don't feel you can do that yourself, then definitely get somebody such as myself, a professional, to guide you through that, because that will really help this situation. All right, pile one. So I know that you're going through a lot of intense energy here, but I do feel the outcome is positive, and I want you to know that. I want you to know, as long as you set your boundaries and have a healing mindset towards this, I think this is going to be a very beautiful lifelong connection. That is just really important to do though. So I'm sending you love and light, and thank you so much for watching. If you would like to book a session with me, you can do that down below. If you would like to learn more about my coaching programs, you can also check out my Ignite Your Purpose link down below. And next year I will have a class called Manifestation Goddess, so stay tuned. All right, my loves, take care. Let me know what pile you got, and don't forget to use your Keen offer, only $1.99 for 10 minutes. Love you all. Bye. Hello, pile 2. Welcome to your reading. So let's find out when you will meet the one. So your first card here is the Magician, and let's see what else is coming through for you all. You have the Four of Cups. You have the Fool. And you have the Queen of Swords. Okay, so for you all, I'm just going to start with these 4 cards because I'm kind of hearing some things from your spirit guides already. So the first thing that I want to say is I feel that you're in a pretty positive mindset. Like the energy I'm getting from you is you know who you are, you have a high vibrational energy, you feel that you're attractive. I see some of you working on your fitness and your diet as well. So that might be an area of focus. And I would encourage you to continue to lean into that because that's really helping to raise your energetic vibration. And I'm seeing that more people will be drawn to you because of that. Now, I am seeing some of you going on dates. And for some who are watching this, it's quite a few. And this could be anything from arranged meetups to blind dates to dates that you would find on an app. I'm seeing most of these being enjoyable experiences, bar a couple of them. There's maybe 2 that you're like, I don't really think this is my person. But I am being shown that these types of experiences are very good and that could be an extremely viable way that you meet this person. I'm hearing that you can meet your person within, I would say, 5.5 months. That's very exact, but that's what I'm getting. And I see until then, it almost feels like I'm meeting all of these attractive people who are very kind and nice, and on paper, they're really good. But I think there might just be a tiny piece of the connection that just doesn't quite feel authentic or romantic enough for you yet. But I'm seeing that within between 4 to 6 months specifically, this would be remediated and you would meet the right person. And especially if the person you're inquiring about is a man, I'm seeing someone who would be relatively tall, like 6 foot or so, and have kind of a sharp jaw and darkish hair. That's all I'm seeing. And they might even have a long nose too. Your spirit guides want you to know. So I'm hearing that for many of you, and this is very important that I say this, you might meet this person through friends. And this would be the type of thing where you have 1 or 2 really close friends, people that you hang out with all the time. You know, it's weekly or bi-weekly that you would hang out with these people. And then they have a circle of friends too. And they might throw a party or something like that, but it would be very casual, not intense. And then you would meet the one through them. And I'm seeing that you really trust your friends. And so therefore you're more inclined to enjoy this person who is the one that they introduce you to. But it's kind of funny because I'm almost getting the sense that this is not super planned. Like it's almost like your friends might not think that you would necessarily like this person in a romantic way. That's kind of something that's coming through. And that's just very specific. It's only for some of you. Because your spirit guides are saying there's forked energy in this pile. So some are meeting through friends, but the friends wouldn't set you up purposely. Then others are meeting through an app. And then there's kind of a third category, which is a lot smaller, maybe like 12% of you, where your parents are very active in this. And this would be more of an arranged situation where the parents would have screened the person. All of these are possible for this pile. However, the predominant energy for the majority of you is that you would meet this person either through friends or an app. Now, let's just talk about the friends thing for a little bit more because that needs to be this needs to have more light shed on it. Your spirit guides are just saying that your friends really love this person, think this person is so sweet. At times, this person, it can be a little bit immature. Socially is what they're saying, just being honest. However, this person is very attractive. This person has a clear understanding of their career and what they want, and they're really working on building towards it. So I feel this person has very strong career aspirations and they do not want to be just a normal person. They really want to make it their own. And so they might even have their own business or they might have a very flexible schedule. And that would have been something that they have purposely over a period of time designed for themselves. So for example, they might make a good amount of money, but only work like 10 to 15 hours a week, or they're working really hard, but it's for their own business. So as you can see, both of those things are kind of designing the lifestyle that they truly desire deep down. And so I see your person being very set on their career goals right now, but they're doing it in a very motivated way and a way that would light you up and that you would respect. I'm also kind of getting the impression that you think this person is objectively attractive, but when you first meet them, it just might not cross your mind that this could be the one. It's not that it's not love at first sight. It's almost just like maybe you don't know enough about them, or, you're meeting a lot of people and so you just don't really think about it. But I'm seeing that this person has an instant attraction to you and they would be the one to pursue you. So I don't know how, but it seems that they get your number, maybe through your friends, or maybe you're all in a group chat. And it seems like they ask you to hang out. And when they do, you should definitely say yes, not only because they're the one, but because you truly enjoy your conversations with them. And I see your conversations flowing very smoothly. And I'm seeing that this person would be very enthusiastic about getting to know you. But at the same time, even though they are enthusiastic, they also make you feel extremely safe. And this person feels like home, but it's in a way where it's a mature way. It's like you can tell them anything and you will feel heard. Even if at times they themselves act a little bit immature, you can seriously tell them anything and they will be like, thank you so much for bringing that up. Thank you for being honest. So that's something that will really benefit this relationship, is if you are honest and open with them and always tell them where you are emotionally. Not necessarily if it's like the first second you're experiencing the emotion in that situation, then sit with it and really kind of work through it, of course. But, if it's becoming something that you're struggling with, or there's an issue that's festering, it would be highly beneficial for you to communicate that to this person, because I'm seeing that those are actually growth opportunities for this relationship, and that this person would actually want to explore things deeper with you because you had brought it up. Your spirit guides are saying you're going to find that very counterintuitive, because in our society, we're often taught to kind of suppress our emotions or not share our emotions up front, but this person would actually be very appreciative of it and it would show that you stand out. So I'm seeing that sometimes you need to be the one to kind of lean in more and take more of the emotional risks in the relationship, but that in doing so, they would really appreciate it and they would actually like you even more. So that's beautiful. I see this relationship growing nicely. I mean, I see you as this Queen of Swords character. So first of all, I want to say that you're more so the assessor. So I hate to say it this way because relationships are a lot more complicated than this. But if there's one person who is more so the pursuer and another being pursued, you are more the one being pursued, meaning that this person is pursuing you. You are the one who kind of has the say in things. You are the one who makes the final decision. And I'm also seeing that there are many people who are interested in you and you have a lot of options. Your spirit guides are saying you're not always open-minded to all of the options that come across your plate, and you might actually be very picky in strange ways. For example, maybe you really care about micro details, or if you don't feel the connection instantly, you're kind of like, forget about it. But I see you being like this Queen of Swords energy where you assess and you perceive and you think. But I think this person will very quickly win you over. And again, not to say that there's anything to win over. It's just more that it wouldn't cross your mind that you two would instantly be together. It's just not that type of thing. It feels like you meet them in a very casual way. However, this is a beautiful connection. And I see you actually falling for this person very hard. When we have the Fool, I'm seeing you really truly falling in love with this person and being surprised at how quickly you do. And I'm seeing that this person and you have a lot of like light between you. So it just feels like very healing to be in this connection as well. And this person has a very penetrating gaze, is what your spirit guides are saying. So even if they were not like your dream person physically from the first second you look at them, their gaze is going to be the thing that draws you in, and you're going to notice their eyes and you're going to be like, whoa, okay, like that's a very intense gaze and this person has very intense emotions towards me. And it's almost like they don't say everything, but the way that they look at you, it just makes it so obvious how much they like you. And therefore you start to soften inside and then you feel the same towards them. Okay, if you meet on a dating app, I want to talk about that for a second too. I'm just seeing that in that scenario, you're going to have a lot of options. I see a lot of people who are very attractive on paper, but you're missing that romantic vibe with them. Or it seems like, yeah, you have rapport, but there's just something missing. You can't quite put your finger on it. Therefore, that's why the timeline would be a little bit extended to the 5 or 6 month mark. And if you meet through friends, it feels like the timeline is a little shorter, maybe like 3 to 4 months. And if you meet through an app, it feels it's a little longer, like, 5 to 7 months, but somewhere in the 5.5 month range is what I would say, honestly. If you meet on an app, my advice is only meet up with this person if you have a very good back and forth dialogue. And I'm not suggesting to spend a lot of time texting them, but there's something in their tone that would make them stand out. For example, they would seem like they have a good sense of humor, or they would make you curious, or there would be something in the way that they speak where you're like, oh, I kind of like this person. So basically what I'm saying is if this person comes across as dry or boring or very structured or something like that, I just don't see that being the right person for you. And I would just say no. And so that's going to help you because you really don't want to expend your energy on too many random connections. Instead, you want to prioritize the right person. And I'm seeing this person has a lot of energy around their heart chakra and also their third eye. And so this would be a very romantic connection. Like this person would make you feel a little bit like you're being swept off your feet, which is beautiful. So that's really good. I'm just seeing if there's anything else you need to know. Funny, your spirit guides just said your king is waiting for you. So you can use king, queen, whatever you want. But yeah, this person is also looking for someone at this current moment in time. They're mirroring you, which is very interesting. I see them also meeting a few people at this time. So just know that's okay. You two haven't even met yet, so not a big deal. But I do see this person is ready for a deeper connection. And the way that you will win them over is your intellect, your perspective, your eyes, and your sensitivity. You're a very sensitive person. They really love that about you. And they find you mesmerizing. When you walk into a room, they think that you're absolutely magnetic and they can't take their eyes off of you. That's what they're telling me. Okay, so yeah, I almost feel like, especially if you meet in some kind of community event, some party, this person literally stares at you and there's something where you might not notice it or you just think they're not available. Maybe they're even with someone at the time that they meet you initially. Yeah, they're very captivated by you. And basically you have this major glow all around you. You seem extremely magical and attractive and abundant and sensual. And they are all about your energy and your vibes. And they just honestly can't take their eyes off of you. So this person would genuinely want like a committed, real relationship fairly quickly. Like, yes, you two will go on dates, but I don't really see it going much longer than like 3.5 months max until you two are like in a committed relationship with labels. And you would probably, especially if you're casual at the beginning, you would become exclusive even before that. So yeah, this will obviously end in partnership. This person is the one. It's very exciting that you'll meet this person within the next 6 to 7 months. For most of you, 4.5 to 5 months. And I'm just really happy for you. So let me know if it resonated. You can comment down below. Don't forget to use your Keen offer 10 minutes for only $1.99 if you're a new user, and you can use my promo link down below. All right, my dears, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you all in the next video. Bye. All right, pile 3, welcome to your reading. So let's find out when you will meet the one, and don't forget to use your Keen offer linked down below. Use my promo link to make that happen. Okay, so your first card is the 3 of Pentacles, and let's continue to tap in and see what your spirit guides say about meeting the one. Wow, okay. So you got the Ace of Pentacles and Temperance. Okay, then you have the Knight of Pentacles. All right, so I'm just going to start with these 4 because I'm getting some funny and interesting messages. So the first thing I want to say is there are some of you who are watching this video who are very young, like you're between 16 and 25. If that applies to you, then the answer is within 3 to 4 years. And actually, if you're like 16, then it's going to be longer. So like 6 years if you're 16. There's at least one person watching this who's that young. And I just want you to know you really don't need to worry about this yet. Like you're young in your life and you have a big part of your life left to discover. So don't focus on timelines right now. It's actually not something that you need to focus on. Just focus on yourself and really growing yourself and stepping into your essence. Now, if you are, let's say 20 to 25-ish, yeah, I still see between 2 to 3 years, but it is closer to 3 years, just being honest. And I feel that it's happening in divine timing. Feels beautiful. And for some of you, I'm seeing school in this pile. So some of you are pursuing some kind of higher education. This could be college. This could be a MBA or a master's degree. I definitely see that being significant to meeting the one. And if you're currently in a program, this person would be in your program. Wouldn't necessarily be in every single class that you have, but for example, let's say that you have a cohort for your program that's like 250 people. They would be in that program. And so that's kind of why the Three of Pentacles is coming up, because to meet this person, it feels like school is actually an important ingredient. So school is definitely going to be one of the things that would bring you and this person together. Now, let me just see what your spirit guides are saying about that, because they have something else to say. If your program is like 2 or 3 years long, I almost feel that you meet them in the second or third year. And they're saying in like the second year, but it would be halfway through the year at the earliest. So if you're in like the first year of your program or something like that, just don't worry. Just continue to do yourself, do school, because I see that, yeah, and about, they're saying like the 2.5 to 3 year mark is where you would meet this person, and that would be as connected to your program. Okay, for those of you where school is not a thing, like it's not a factor, you're not in any programs or any school or anything like that, I am seeing self-love as the main ingredient for you to meet the one. And so I'm getting the sense that a lot of us have a very expansive mind intellectually, and we like to learn things a lot, but what we're missing sometimes is giving ourselves self-love. And I'm seeing that we have a group of helpers here. So you'd be the type of person where you're very enthusiastic and you always seem very happy, but internally you're craving that deep connection and you do really want a partner. And you're missing the presence of a partner in your life. You might not have even had that many relationships. I'm seeing maybe you've had between 2 to 4 significant relationships in your life. And it could potentially even be less than that. And so I'm seeing there's a creeping self-doubt in your mind. Like, what if that doesn't happen again? Or what if it takes me a long time? Now, I know I'm going by age, but that's just the easiest way to separate all the people who are going to be watching this video. So if you're in your 30s, like between 30 to 38-ish, I'm seeing you meeting the one sooner, which would be probably a breath of relief for you. So I'm seeing like a 1.5 years maximum. And I want you to know it could even be faster. And I'm hearing that the universe is orchestrating some things for you. So you just need to put yourself out there. They are showing you going on dating apps, but they're saying only if that resonates, because some of you will meet your person that way. But I'm seeing that you're going to meet this person regardless, because there are strings being pulled from above, is what your spirit guides are saying, especially if you were in your 30s. And if you're in your 30s, I'm seeing that the most important thing for you to focus on, which is going to sound very funny, is your physical appearance mirroring your internal world, meaning that if you take really good care of yourself physically, that means internally you need to match that. If you take really good internal care of yourself, that means your physical external appearance needs to match that. And your spirit guides are saying not one or the other. You need to have both. So let's say you wear a lot of really beautiful clothes or dresses or jewelry, and that would be, if that's what you're attracted to, then internally you need to be putting the same amount of effort into self-love and self-care. And I'm seeing meditation and affirmations being critical for you right now, as well as healing work such as massages and even psychic surgery would be really good for you too. I'm also seeing that bold and bright colors are actually really good for you. So stay away from dark colors. For some reason that energetically repels the one. So that's a very important message. And that's kind of funny because all of these cards are very bright and this tablecloth is very bright. So I'm just feeling like the more you can be in your bright, colorful presence, the easier it's going to meet this person. And that's a message for everyone, by the way, but specifically if you're in your 30s, that would be even more important. I'm seeing that a lot of us are actually in a very secure situation. So if you're in school, that's a pretty structured situation. You have certain semesters or trimesters, you know your timelines. If you are working, I feel you're making a pretty steady income for yourself. And I feel that you're a master at your work. And that would also be something that would really attract the one. So for this group, your intellectual mind is set. Like you are secure, you show up very well, you present yourself nicely, you speak pretty eloquently. I see you coming off with a lot of confidence. And so what needs to be worked on now is just making sure that your internal mind and heart matches the level of confidence that people see in you externally. Because what I'm getting is this little creeping feeling of self-doubt. It almost feels like I fooled the world. Like everybody thinks of me as this confident person, this leader, this eloquent speaker, or just this person who gets like really high marks in school. But internally, I'm like, oh, am I really that? I don't know. Your spirit guides are saying that you are, and they want you to own it, and they want you to show up with a lot of confidence. Because the more confident you are, the easier it is going to be to meet the one. But they're saying the confidence should not be a show. It has to be internal. So for everyone in this group, I really recommend listening to affirmations every single day, specifically around confidence. I have a couple of videos. So I have daily affirmations videos. I would listen to that every single day and night. So at least 2 times a day. And you can even listen while going to sleep. And then I also have a video on how to manifest confidence. And I would highly recommend watching that because that's going to give you some more tangible tips to use. Okay, we have Temperance and the Knight of Pentacles. This is kind of for the younger crowd watching this video. Temperance is about balance. And so, like I said, internal and external need to be harmonized. I'm not really seeing that this has much to do with timeline other than being in flow, but it's kind of like Libra energy to me in the sense that the internal and external are like scales that need to be balanced. So that's something to prioritize. And then here we have the Knight of Pentacles. For the younger crowd, this card literally means that it's going to be a longer period of time. Why? Because you're young and you're meant to be exploring yourself at this time, and you don't really need to worry about when to meet the one yet. So that's a strong message if you're younger, like if you're between 16 and like 24. And I'm seeing if you're like between 23 to 27-ish, you're like, well, who is she to say that? But around that timeline, I see you really growing into yourself, and that would be predominantly with career and education. And you would get a lot of accolades around this time in your life. And all of this needs to happen before you and this person like get engaged and get married. And so this would be something like getting a second degree, winning an award at work, figuring out the profession that meets all of your desires, establishing your own company. I'm seeing a lot of accolades and recognition around you, especially with all these coins. And I just want you to know this is all in divine timing. So if this is happening for you now, it's a very good sign that your person is coming in closer. Because all of this has to happen first before you and this person truly get together. And I'm not saying that you can't be in a relationship before that, but it just feels that things are not moving as fast until after you get that recognition or that accolade. And it would be a big event in your life and something that you've been working towards for a while. So I'm just guessing most of you already know what that is. For those of us who are in their 30s or so, I'm just seeing this armor, and it feels like collectively as a group, you know, if you're in your 30s, you've kind of been wearing this armor, this feeling of I need to show up this certain way to the world, but internally I'm actually feeling really sensitive. That's okay. Your spirit guides are saying no problem. They just want you to continue to work on self-love and to know that the more you love yourself, the faster this is going to happen. And they are saying it in a very serious way. And they're telling you, don't think of it as corny, because every time you hear this, you might have a tendency to think, oh, that's so corny. That's what everyone says. But actually for your situation, that's what needs to happen. So instead of wasting your time, putting that in huge air quotes, going on dates and meeting a bunch of random people, it's more like you are destined to attract like a magnet. And so you have to really love yourself. So the more you love yourself, the more magnetic you become, and the more you will meet this person in a very easy way. I just see institutions around you. So I don't really see work, but I see school, I see higher education, I see organizations. If you're in school, perfect way to meet this person. If you are already out of school, you've already done all of that, or maybe you're not interested in that, never pursued that, that's fine. This could be something more like a professional association. So for example, like Human Resources has SHRM, which is the Society for Human Resources. You might join a professional organization, and that might be how you meet this person. Let me just see if there's any last words of advice coming through. And I'm sorry, I know this has been a little bit all over the place, but it's because there's so many different age groups and types of people watching this reading. So I just try and be clear with the age groups and do it that way. Okay, we have yin and yang, catalyst of change and growth. Okay. Okay, well, catalyst of change to me is going back to this whole recognition accolades thing. I just keep hearing that you're a very impressive person and that everyone is truly impressed by you, and your person is not going to be out of that either. Like, they're totally going to think that you're amazing and that you are a catalyst of change. You're bringing all this amazing recognition into your life. So it's kind of like prioritize yourself first and the rest is just going to flow, is what I'm hearing. Yeah, so you are going to bring a lot of change into your life in a very positive way. And actually, the more risks that you can take at this time, the faster your new relationship will come in. And of course, I'm saying that in the terms of calculated risks, but it just feels like that would be a healthy thing to be doing. So let's say you're thinking about pursuing your master's degree. Well, perhaps you do it in a different country, which requires a move. It's actually a good idea to lean into that type of change right now because it's going to help more. So temperance, yin and yang are quite similar as well. So I'm just seeing that just balancing the internal and external. Like I said, I think that's going to be really important. I'm also seeing that your partner will balance you. So when you're feeling really charged and confident and in your element, they would be the yin to your yang, so to speak. And that would be a very healthy thing. And I see this person almost being more of like a grounding, earthy type of energy. They might also have some water in their astrological chart too, specifically their sun, moon, and rising. But I think they might be an earth sign. So that could be something to look out for in a positive way. And then lastly, we have growth. So I see a lot of change coming for all of you. I see really major shifts, especially over the next year and a half. It feels like really destined, intense, fun, cool things are happening for you, and all very expansive. They're all really good things. So I think look forward to them and just embrace these opportunities with open arms and know that your person is coming for you, and know that also this recognition, this accolades, these degrees, whatever it is that you're working on, that kind of needs to be closed in order for this relationship to go to the next phase. But if you're in school or you're currently pursuing something that would lead to recognition, I feel that's a very good way to meet your partner. All right, my loves, I hope that this helped you. Let me know if it resonates. You can leave me a comment down below. Don't forget to use your Keen offer. It is only $1.99 for up to a 10-minute reading, specifically if you are a new customer of Keen. So highly recommend checking that out, and you can use my promo link down below. All right, thank you so much. Have a wonderful day, and I will see you all very soon. Bye.